A hardened steel hex nut, a traditional hex nut, has a specific width, bore size, the hole, and the depth of the nut. The ratio is always the same. So as you go to a bigger hex nut, the depth would be about this thick. It doesn't stay the same as this. It's relative to the size of the nut. This was the biggest hex nut I can find, and I sawed through it on both sides to take off this much metal off both sides of the hex nut, so that all that would be left would be the center, a center sliver from this. And my intention was, as you can see, I was practicing on this, was to take these edges and start rounding them off, leaving one face, only one face, flat, and round everything else off, and if you can see them, grind out the threads on the inside. So that's what I've been working on, is the center piece that was between this slice off and the other one that made up this, the width of this bolt. And here's where it's at right now. I have the single face. It's pretty straight, pretty rectangular. I have more work to do. That tapers down, gets thinner, comes around the back, thinner, and then starts tapering up again, so that the hole is in the center, centered to all of this. And I'm starting to get the threads ground out. This is a little big, and a lot more metal has to come down. If it's too big for my finger, I could cut a joint in it, bang it back together, put a tiny weld and buff it back out to this. But as you can see, this is an enormous amount that I ground down from that. Put it on this side and you can see it better. No, it's better with this, like this. It's an enormous amount of metal. Got some more to do. This took a lot longer than it normally would. If I would have had a bench grinder, this would have taken no time at all, but I don't. So this is all with filing, a hand file, using a belt sander to take down sides, and sandpaper. Got some more work to do on it, but when you buff out steel, it looks like chrome. So this ought to look nice, and then I'll decide if something's going to be set, placed in the center, or if there's going to be like hatch cuts and stuff just to make it more interesting. But this is the first ring I've ever made, so see how it goes to the finish.